We won the lottery to hike the wave in Arizona. And in this video, we're gonna tell you everything that you need to know in order to get a permit to hike the wave and take you along on our experience hiking to the wave for the first time.
Good morning, happy travelers. Welcome to Utah.
We're in the town of Kanab, which is about an hour drive outside of Wire Pass Trailhead, where we have to start the wave. We just stopped to get some breakfast sandwiches, and then we're gonna hit the road.
After driving about 40 miles east on Highway 89 outside of Kanab, Utah, we've made the turnoff. We're heading towards the Wire Pass Trailhead. This road is dirt and it is dry right now, so we're in a two-wheel drive vehicle. I think we're gonna be okay. But if this ever gets wet, they say you might need a four-wheel drive, so just keep that in mind.
About 4 miles in, there's a wash where if there was some rain and there was some moving water, that would be a little difficult to get through. But other than that, the drive looks great. After just about 9 miles of driving down that dirt road, we made it to the trailhead. There's quite a few other cars here. There's a few bathroom services, and we're gonna pack the last few essential items before we go ahead and hit the trail. So when we picked up our permits yesterday, they gave us this little piece that actually has to go onto one of the packs. So we're gonna attach that right now. If you're interested in the whole permit process and wanna know a little bit more about how we scored permits for the wave on the daily lottery, stay tuned for the end of the video where we'll go ahead and do a deep dive into everything you need to know. Also, when we went for our safety briefing, they gave us a list of things that they recommended you pack. So, good little checklist.
First thing we have to do, sign in.
We're starting this hike a little later than we probably wanted to. It's about 12:30 right now. It is currently November 4th. Sunset's about 6 p.m. We've read online and through like All Trails descriptions that this hike normally takes about 3 to 4 hours, so we should be fine. It was just kind of the way that today worked out. We had to change hotels and drive in from Zion, so it just took a little longer.
Normally they recommend you start this hike really early in the summertime because of the heat.
Also, we have 3 liters of water each. They recommend a gallon in summertime. I'm sure you're gonna drink a lot more water because you're gonna battle with the heat, but it's like 45 degrees right now, so you don't have to worry about the heat. Kelly's cold, so let's get hiking. We started the trail just across the road from the parking lot. We're gonna be following all of the detailed steps that they gave us at the BLM ranger station. So it should be pretty easy. Looks like the first thing we have to do is just walk down this dry riverbed for about a half a mile.
Also known as a wash, or if you're in California, an arroyo. We found the first waypoint. We're not stupid. Yay! I was afraid we were gonna miss it and be the dumb ones. It looks like we're just about at waypoint number 2. We're still using this little map with the pictures on it, but honestly there's a lot of footprints. And hopefully these people all know where they're going because it seems to be the same way that we're going, so it's not too hard so far. It might be in the morning if you were the first ones coming this way, but since we're here in the middle of the afternoon, there's lots of footprints. That's the saddle that we have to go over. Yep, that one right there. Need to do more cardio at home. I think I say that every time we go hiking. Once you've crossed the ridge through the saddle, you will be at point 3.
So we've heard that this section is one of the hardest to kind of navigate, especially coming back. So we've taken lots of reference photos to kind of try to find that saddle again. There are a few signposts along the way, so even though there isn't really a designated trail, there are a couple of markers. That makes it a little easier.
Okay, our next goal is to be to the right. These are called the Twin Buttes, but I've been calling them the Twin Butts because I'm 12, apparently.
I think they look like boobs.
Those are the lesser known Tetons.
Hey-o.
If you didn't know, Grand Tetons is French for big boobs. Drink. We have our own reusable water bottles, but we wanted to bring a lot of water on this hike, and the smart water bottles actually fit in backpacks really, really well. And we'll actually use them again and again just because they fit so well.
The next step is to hike towards this vertical crevice, across these rocks, and apparently the wave is right below it. Cool. Sounds great. Thanks a lot. This is Bob, right?
Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
All right, so we just met Bob, who does safety patrols up here.
Bob, heck of a nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's out here in the middle of nowhere, basically. So he took down our name and what kind of car we have. He said there's another guy up here doing the safety patrol. We have the permit hanging off the backpack, so we didn't ask for it. It's a bright green thing, so probably saw that. But just be aware, if you come here without a permit, there are actually people up here.
I've heard it could be up to a $100,000 fine.
Rather get the permit. We're getting there, we're getting there.
So is it like those nubs right there, literally right below?
Yeah, I think so.
The wave?
Yeah, you have to go up that ridge there. So we have to cross this wash here and then head, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a big vertical crack in the mountain up there. It's basically at the base of that. We're almost there, except it looks like we have quite the incline to go up at the very end.
A little bit of sand. I think I just caught our first glimpse of the wave. So there were about a dozen people here when we just walked up and all of them just left. Being late today paid off because we have this whole place to ourselves right now. Man, this place is so cool. I've been dreaming of coming here for years and years and years, and to have it all to ourselves too. What a lucky experience. Just the lotto and being able to be here, timing worked out, man. So cool.
I think probably the best part about this is that we're here by ourselves. That is amazing, I love it. All right, we had some fun goofing around and taking lots of photos and videos. And a few people came here and there, but we've pretty much been alone most of the time. But the wind is whipping and it is very cold, so we're gonna start heading back. We're right on the Utah-Arizona border. It's a weird time change, so we're not exactly sure what time it is right now.
Either the sun sets in 2.5 hours or 1.5 hours.
Yeah, we don't want to be here in the dark because that would be bad. So we're gonna start heading back.
All right, let's do one last bye-bye wave to the wave. So cool. Oh, I'm so happy we were able to do that. Shout out to my wife for being a good sport.
It was great. It's just cold.
She wasn't super excited about hiking 7 miles through the desert today, but she knew how much I wanted to do it, so she rallied, and that's awesome.
So they give you pictures for the way out to the wave, but they also give you the reverse pictures going back, which is handy. Hopefully we won't need that too much, but just for reference so we don't get lost.
We remember pretty much where we came from, so it's not super hard. Double checking is good. I think getting to the saddle at the end might be a little tricky, so I took reference photos for that though.
It is a little bit harder on the way back. The landmarks are not as pronounced as they were when we were coming out, so.
Yeah. All the buttes look the same.
I know, they do. All the red kind of like blends together. We paid good attention when we were coming out, looked for landmarks and stuff, so.
Good news. We found the twin butts.
Yay, I think we did the hardest part, where people get lost. But we didn't. Yay! We're almost back to the car. I think we're done with the hardest part. Now it should be pretty much flat. Oh my god. I'm so happy.
Okay. Mission successful, back in the car. It was a great hike.
We should say that we did this hike in early November. I know sometimes we get a lot of questions about when we film these videos. So that's why we're mentioning that it's cold and windy.
Yeah, in the summertime it would be a completely different hike. If you want to learn a little more about the permit process, we're going to go ahead and dive into that right now. There's two different types of permits that you can get to hike the wave. One is an advanced online permit that you have to book 4 months out from the date that you actually want to hike. The other is a daily lottery that you can sign up for 2 days before the date you want to hike. The daily lottery has changed recently. It used to be you'd have to go in person, but now it's done all online and there's a few different steps and hoops that you have to jump through. The first thing you have to do is submit an application 2 days before the date that you want to hike. You have to apply on the recreation.gov app. So you can't really do this on a desktop or a laptop. It has to be some sort of mobile device. And you have to be pretty close to the actual start of the trail to apply. They use your location from your mobile device to determine where you are. And if you're too far away, they won't let you apply. It costs $7 to apply for the lottery, and you have to do it from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. 2 days before the lottery. They'll announce the winners of the daily lottery at 7:15 p.m. that same day. If you win that lottery and you're selected to get a permit, the next step is to actually pay for the permit, which costs $9 per person. You can do it anytime from 7:15 when you're granted it to 8 a.m. that next day. For our permits, we chose to pick them up at the Kanab Ranger Station, and they opened at 8 o'clock. That's when you're allowed to pick up your permits, and the safety briefing started exactly at 8:30. If you showed up late, they would get rid of your permit, so you really have to be on time for the safety briefing. There's another ranger station that you could also pick it up in the Lake Powell area, but I don't really know too much about that because we did the one in Kanab. Only the person that actually applied for the permit is the one that has to go to the safety briefing. So keep that in mind. We couldn't really find information on that ahead of time online, and we didn't know going into it whether all members of the party needed to actually be there for the safety briefing or if it was just the person that applied for the permit. Luckily, it's just the person that applied for the permit, and they actually kicked out the other people and only allowed the permit holders to stay and watch the safety briefing. The maximum number of people that are allowed to hike to the wave per day is 64 people. It's a little confusing the way they do it. 48 people are designated for the advanced online lottery. That's the one that you have to do 4 months in advance. And the daily lottery is only 16 people or 4 groups, whichever comes first. So once you go and pick up the permit, they'll give you 3 different pieces of paper. The first one is your actual permit. This paper is separated into 3 sections. The bottom section is a permit that actually needs to go on your backpack and go with you on your hike. The top section needs to be displayed on the dash of your car at the trailhead. The middle section is just a receipt, so you don't need to keep that part. The second part is a safety checklist. This gives you information on what they recommend you bring with you, and also the information that they recommend you send to your emergency contact. The third part is your actual BLM certified map. This map is super detailed, and it actually gives some really good information inside with different waypoints. Mainly the safety briefing, they went over this map and answered any questions that we might have. There's no official trail to the wave, so you really have to pay attention to this part and use different landmarks to make your way there and make your way back. After watching the safety briefing, I feel super confident in heading out there. They really are thorough with all the information.
All right, we hope that was helpful for you. If you have any questions about the wave hike or the daily lottery to get the permit, drop us a comment, let us know, and we'll try our best to answer those.
We have a couple more days in the Kanab area, and we're gonna do some canyoneering and some other fun stuff, so be sure to hit that subscribe button, and thanks so much for watching.
Kelly and Kevin from the Awkward Tourists. Peace out.
We've read online and on all trails. Ooh.
Who the fuck would do this in the summer? Did you catch that on camera?
Yeah. Talk about the map.
It's a map.
You okay? It's okay. 9 miles down this dirt road that we have to go.
Know that we were going in the right direction. The right direction.
The right direction. What's up?
What a weirdo.